Throughout history, genocide has played a part. It's played a part starting with persecutions, starting with hate, anger towards one group of people, and finally ending up in a mass murder. This was seen in the Holocaust. This was seen when African Americans were shipped through the Middle Passage, and many millions of them died just on those boats, shackled, starving. Many Indians on reservations were killed by smallpox, and many diseases that white settlers brought unwantingly, and yet they died from that without us knowing or realizing this. Many Mayans and their whole culture were destroyed. No one knows how it happened, but it all died out. And it wasn't until in the early 1900s, I believe, that we were actually able to find out somewhat of their language, and that it worked in an algebraic expression of language. But beyond that, we don't know much about them. We don't know much about anything. We're infants. We're children. We're just merely children. All of us. We ourselves can't even figure out why we're different from anyone else. Why can't we be tolerant? Why can't we accept everyone else for who they are and learn? Not hate. Not just totally get mad and angry because they believe something else that's different. Why is that throughout human history we see this oppression over and over again? We see it when the Spanish came over to Mexico and they took out Montezuma II, conquested the Aztecs, made it to New Mexico City, took away their religion, made it into Catholicism, not respecting the traditions of the Aztecs, who they believed were devil worshippers. And how is it that even throughout the Middle Ages and into the modern age, Muslims and Jews were persecuted throughout Europe? They were seen as the Antichrist, the devil worshippers. Anyone that was against the Catholic Church was considered a devil worshipper. Even in Protestants versus Catholics, they were seen both with evil eyes at each other. This is how genocide starts. We see this in the Holocaust in the 1940s in Europe. How many Jews died because they were seen differently and they weren't liked by many people for absurd reasons of intolerance, lack of knowledge, and lack of understanding. We see this in Bosnia, where millions of Muslims and Serbs and Croats were massacred and brutally murdered by terrible, terrible men. We see this in Darfur, where Muslims are killing innocent people, mostly of different religions. We see this in Rwanda in the 1994 and 1995, where they killed Hutus, killed Tutsis, just because they were different, just because they were of a different ethnic group. This is really ridiculous. And it's really a shame for the earth to even experience such hardships. Can you imagine being a child in that country and having to go through the horrors of having your parents killed just for the reason of being from a certain ethnic group or a certain religion? Can you imagine? Can you imagine yourself being persecuted for being something completely different than what everyone else expects you to be? Tolerance is important in this world. Tolerance must be accepted. Whether you agree with a person's belief or not, or whether you agree with their lifestyle or not, you must accept it. There are many things I don't accept in this world of people's lifestyles or people's beliefs, but I must be tolerant, accept, and understand. I cannot be some barbarian who kills and murders people just because they're different than me. I must learn to accept and comprehend. We no longer live in a cave age. We live in a information age, where knowing about other people's culture should be easy, quick, and it should be more easier to understand through the internet. And yet we still see people who are ignorant, who don't understand, who deny the Holocaust, who parade around and wish people's death just because they believe they're evil, without actually knowing who they are, or what they do, or what their beliefs are, or that they have a normal family just like anyone else. This is my message to the world. It is to be tolerant, to accept other people, regardless if you like them or not, and to accept, and to stop, and to love, and to bridge, and to build, to house, to help anyone, no matter who they are. It's important. Always assist to help someone. Always be that person who people can depend on when they need help. Because one day you might be the one that needs help. One day you might be the one in that situation. Also, remember this. Genocide happens throughout the time, even in Darfur. Right now, millions of Christians are dying. No one is doing a thing about it. Which is why I ask, if there's anyone out there that wants to help make a difference, please contact me at saloskys@yahoo.com, SALOSKYS@yahoo.com, and let us try to come up with some kind of petition, some kind of political activism to help these people in Darfur and Sudan, so they no longer have to go through hardship.